ever wondered what it's like to walk the streets of the real Wild West? If you're planning a trip to Arizona, you can't miss this spot where legends were born and history was made. They called this the town Too Tough to Die. Happy Monday, friends. This week, we're taking a step back in time to explore the town Too Tough to Die. Join me as we travel through the historic district of Tombstone, Arizona. Located in the southeast corner of Arizona, I like early morning for quiet boardwalks and midday for indoor museums and shows. Start along Allen Street, Tombstone's front porch with saloons, theaters, and storefronts that once entertained miners, gamblers, and lawmen. Stop by the historic Crystal Palace, the Tombstone Historama, the Oriental Saloon and Theater, and the OK Corral gunfight site. Here you can walk through the OK Corral stables as they appeared in the 1880s. See the blacksmith shop and buggies, pan for gemstones, and see Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday, Virgil and Morgan Earp in daily reenactments of the famous gunfight shootout at the OK Corral in the streets of Tombstone Theater. It's a favorite attraction for Tombstone visitors. As the story goes, prospector Ed Shefflin was convinced that this region was a prime location for mining. Now, after several failed prospecting attempts, the soldiers from the neighboring Fort Huachuca would say, "The only thing Ed will find in these hills is his tombstone." Well, to their surprise, Ed discovered the motherlode of silver right here, and the boomtown of Tombstone was born. Tombstone is also known for its wonderful narrated stagecoach tours. My husband's grandfather was a Tombstone resident, and when my husband was young, he would ride up with stagecoach driver Gail Bell in the summer months here. Another historic stop is the Birdcage Theater. Opened in 1881, it originally opened to provide respectable, family-friendly entertainment. However, that was short-lived, and they soon began showcasing entertainment appealing to the rougher mining and cowboy community day and night through Tombstone's wildest years. This saloon, theater, and gambling hall still has walls that carry the bullet holes. It's a moody museum that stands still in a time long forgotten. Next, make your way to the Tombstone Epitaph newspaper and museum. Here you can explore stories from the oldest continually published newspaper in the state of Arizona. Founded in 1880, when newspapers didn't just report the West, they shaped it. And this paper chronicled everything from claim strikes to court cases, and you can see the old press machinery and historic articles here. The Tombstone Courthouse State Historic Park is another highlight on any Tombstone visit. Designed in the Victorian style and constructed out of striking red brick in 1882, this two-story building acted as the courthouse for the newly established Cochise County. This red brick courthouse is where Tombstone's Wild West stories met the rule of law. Inside are rooms full of historic exhibits, and you can get up-close views of ledgers, case files, and maps, and trace how silver claims and deeds fueled boomtown life, and the disputes that landed right here. Then walk out back where the gallows are a sobering reminder that justice here could be swift and final. By 1879, the town of Tombstone was officially founded, and the Shefflin mines were bringing in over $50,000 a month, which would continue for the next 2 years. Now, after decades of mining, the new mining operations ultimately ceased. However, today, you can still take a tour of the historic mines here, so join me at the Good Enough Silver Mine. This is a real mine where prospectors worked, and the knowledgeable guides lead you below the surface for a fun and educational experience. Step back in time to learn about the rich history of this legendary mine, see up-close mineral deposits, and bonus, Even on hot summer days, the temperature is cool and comfortable in the mine, making it a unique and memorable way to cool off. Then make the short drive to Boot Hill Graveyard to finish your day. Boot Hill is also a must-stop spot here, especially for first-time visitors. Just under a mile from the OK Corral, this historical cemetery was the burial ground for Tombstone's early pioneers, and the name Boot Hill was given due to the sudden and often violent demise of these gunslingers, resulting in them being buried in their boots. This somber spot reminds visitors that Tombstone brought the good life to a few, but certainty of death for many more. There are 256 graves at Boot Hill. Buried here are lawmen, outlaws, ranchers, gamblers, husbands, wives, and more. This graveyard is one of the most famous Wild West cemeteries in the world, and a fitting end to today's Tombstone adventure. Thanks so much for joining me this week in historic Tombstone. For more information, see my blog post at flyingdawnmarie.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. Until next week, I hope you find adventure and encouragement wherever you go. Bye.